Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. My name is Ursie, and I wanted to show you something that has come through, and I've been working with the Quantum Soul Guidance Group. I think it was last year when this heart's desire that came through was to create a 12-pointed star Merkabah of light to support our growing community working with Julia Balaz and team. So I wanted to show you what is coming forward to me now in 2025. Here we go. So when earlier I mentioned, go ahead and use the Quantum Soul Guidance Calculator and find 12 of your natal star families. Working first with your conjunctions, that's a particular aspect where a particular planet is merged its energy with a particular star system. And so I've created this 12-pointed star, placing a little picture of myself as the Ursie that I call myself. So my inner child is in the center, and radiating out from that are visual images that help remind me of who is there to help me here in 2025. So I'm just going to call out 4 of the 12 that I have natally. So Sirius A is in the constellation of the big dog, Canis Major. Sirius A is the brightest star in our heavens that we can see from Earth. Well, this particular star dances with my natal Mars, and Mars for me is located in the 10th house of Cancer. So bringing in the energy of nurturance and motherhood into the house of vocation. So Sirius A is helping me with the permission to shine more brightly in the public with my heartfelt passions and engaging with what Bernadette Brady calls the fire of immortality. Yes, Bernadette is an incredibly amazing star astrologer, and she has classes if you Google her name, Bernadette Brady. But for her, Sirius A is the fire of immortality. And so just holding that bright star and thinking about immortality, which means to me that energy never dies, it only transforms. So when we meet our physical death, it's really just like surprise, it's not really death, it's more transformation. Where will my soul go next? And so, Sirius A, thank you very much for dancing with my natal Mars in Cancer in the 10th house. I know for some of you, this astrology language might be new. And then adding astrology with the galactic might be new, but bear with me because for me, I go, okay, bright star, when I feel shy and I would rather just not show myself, like I'm supposed to be a professional painter, but I keep going back to the galactic and metaphysical. And now I'm learning to bring them both together. And now that I'm 62, I don't really care too much if people are upset with me or disagree. It's okay to disagree. In fact, there's other channels that could perhaps have better content for you if you don't enjoy this. So I have to sit with myself and say, what do I own? I own this idea of being myself, and Sirius A is helping me light the way. Okay, a second star that is helping me in 2025 as part of my support crew. Thank you, Nancy Jean. She calls the word support crew, so I borrowed that term from you, Nancy. Okay, so Achernar. This is a bright star at the end of the river. The river is the constellation Eridanus. So at the end of the river, Achernar is conjunct my part of fortune. This is an Arabic part. This is where I'm to receive my blessings, right? So the blessings I'll receive in this lifetime in Pisces, spirituality, the great ocean of all that is, the subconscious, is sitting in the 6th house of service. You know, it is my body, it is my daily, everyday activity, but the house of service. So Achernar, help me going forward, especially during crises. Because you see, Eridanus is this river, and Achenar is receiving all that's coming down from the river. So I have a gift and a blessing to be able to hold an anchor during times of great crises, whether it's within myself, whether it's within my family or my community or other. So how can I be of service during crises? Well, anchoring the light, embracing the turbulence, learning actually to go from galactic consciousness into more Andromedan consciousness. That's the big next leap, to always be in the flow of constant change. So Achernar is going to help me this year. Okay, there's two more, and then we'll close. Um, Orion's Nebula. Now, many of us see the beautiful constellation of Orion, but there's a star nebula. When you find the three belt stars, look below the center belt star, and you're going to see a little cluster, a nebula. So this nebula is crowning my natal midheaven. So it sits at the top of my astrological wheel. It's me out in the world, and it's sitting at Gemini 22 degrees. So I love the 22, a master builder number in Gemini, air. So lots of thoughts, lots of things to explore and talk about. So I'm asking, oh beautiful star nursery, Orion's nebula is just creating and giving birth to so many baby stars. Fill me with the joy of new creations and guide my path with you in 2025. Orion's nebula is the star mother of the many. So this is the nursery. Thank you very much. Lots of creations coming forward. And lastly, the fourth point that I'd like to talk about is Deneb Adije, or Deneb, which means tail, and Adij. It is the great Isis swan. It is held within the constellation of Cygnus, the swan. But Isis is really connected to this particular star. So the two, so I think of this very strong, feminine, royal energy partnering with my natal Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in Pisces, again, in the sixth house of devoted service. Help me light up this idea of what Bernadette Brady calls the shaman star. Imagine that, knowing that if you have Deneb Adij connected to something like a natal Jupiter or your sun or even your rising sign, this is a marker for the shaman star. The shaman's journey is a path that actually, in my view, the hero's journey, that goes in a spiralic movement. It is like Homer's Odyssey in a certain way, but this is calling out the journey of the feminine for me. And it's saying it's not necessarily a spiral that goes forward, but it's a spiral that goes inward, not outward. It's an inward spiral to remember where I've been and bring those lessons forward. So hopefully this year, or I should retract that word, hopefully, yes, in 2025, Deneb Adij will help me, the star of the swan, will give birth. It is the birth canal of the swan. Expand my awareness and devoted service to the birth of the new. Wow, that's a lot, but I'm still playing with this idea of archetypal imagery, mythology, star wisdom. So I've got Sirius A working with Mars, Achernar holding me tight in the sixth house, along with Orion's nebula at the midheaven and the shaman star anchoring with Jupiter, this expansion into 2025. I'm going to stop sharing. Wow, the light is coming in. It's an auspicious year, 2025. There are so many markers, you can get confused or actually lost in all the auspicious markings. I would just say, if you're interested in taking that next step into understanding your galactic soul connections, where you've been, who might be there to help you, this is ancestral on a soul level. Consider looking at the galactic astrology um, calculator that Julia Balaz has created, and I'll leave a link below. So thank you for joining me on the Ascension Playground. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.